Everybody have something you can share tonight? We ask that you know, people are going to be listening. We need to listen to something. So it's something that's gone on for you, or maybe something it doesn't have to be a problem. It can be an idea you have, or a plan you have, or a decision you need to make. Maybe something you're mad about. But, you know, let's not bring in, you know, the whole lifetime of unwashed laundry. Yes?
Can I tell you what I've experienced?
Yes, and that's what we're going to, yes, I want to do that. Thank you for saying that. So yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I want to hear what everybody's experience is. And
Do you
then we'll
mind
start
if
being
I'm
present.
taping? Does anyone mind? When you're talking to each other, I will not tape you with audio. I'm just getting a visual when you're talking to each other. I feel that's personal. Raise your hand if you're against me taping you in it, and I will not videotape you at all.
Are you cool?
Okay, I just want everyone to know that.
All right, so yeah, let's share.
I've noticed this week how people don't listen to me. You know, I can be having a discussion with a couple of people, and they'll just talk right over me. And if I'm quiet, they don't even notice. And even though I'm guilty of that too sometimes, I've been trying consciously to keep my mouth shut until someone else has finished a thought. But I've noticed over and over and over that most people just blurt out whatever it is they have to say when it comes into their mind, instead of waiting for their turn.
So you've noticed people are impulsive.
Oh yes.
And so now that you've been listened to, now it's sorely missing when you get out in the world. Yeah.
I had a very similar experience.
Can you say your name so we all learn each other's names?
My name is
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Gay.
Okay.
My name is Carol. I'm Gay's sister. I went to a meeting on Wednesday afternoon after having been here on Tuesday, and the same thing happened. There were 4 of us, and 2 people were, I just was stunned, like I had never noticed before what that was like. It was ghastly. And I found steam coming out of my ears, and finally decided that I had probably, after 2 hours, had enough meeting.
Yeah, one of the things I often will say when I introduce a listening salon or listening classes, if you don't learn to listen, I will at least make it so that you are forever neurotic about listening. You will always notice yourself, and you will always notice when people aren't listening to you, which is not really neurosis. I'll make you forever mad, you know, about other people. So let's go. Any other experiences this week? Let's ask about your own experiences, either noticing other people not listening or your own experience as a listener. Nancy had the little eyes of "don't look at me."
I would have to reveal client secrets. I cannot speak.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, not so much in that regard, although, you know, I realized that, although I thought I was, you know, I always think I'm a good listener, but I realized after going through your packet and studying them that I did all of the don'ts except for 3. So it wasn't just like picking out 3 that I did. It was like, oh, I probably do that. Oh, I bet I do that. Oh, I guess I do that sometimes too. But I have variety.
And you're honest.
And I'd like to say to that, we all do all these things at different points. And so what we're learning, and there's kibitzing, there's going to be, oh, well, girlfriend, you did that so bad, that's happened to me too. Well, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. So what we're trying to learn is another language in addition to the listening language that we've already learned. So it's not like we're going to, please don't think that you have to all the time be so totally You're not going to, you know, but this is just another tool, especially for those times when somebody really gives you the signal that they need you to deeply listen to them. So this is about, or at a meeting, heaven forbid, you know, we've come together to share ideas. That's when we should deeply listen, you know. So other experiences, yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny. My sister was in the hospital over the weekend, had gallbladder surgery. She's lovely, you know, fine. But we went through a period of time where we are that family where we we can't leave anybody in the hospital alone, so we're trading off to family, So I got there at 9 in the morning and was there solid until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And my sister was consistently telling the care providers that came in what she needed, and that was to communicate with the surgeon who was proposing to do her gallbladder surgery before she consented to the gallbladder surgery. And it was an amazing, and it even was happening before 9 a.m. before I arrived, talking to my brother, and afterwards when my brother spelled me. There was a good 10 hours of 3 or 4 care providers not listening. We had care providers saying, we're going to discharge because she's refusing treatment. We had care providers saying, she's consenting, let's take her down to surgery in an hour. We had care providers, it was amazing. And we're sitting there, you have to be patient because you never know, they have all these tests, but we're sitting there for this period of time, my brother and then I, and then my brother again, consistently saying the same thing to everybody. We're not bad at this, right? We're all adults. We know when we say the same thing, and we talk to each other as a family. Now tell them this, right? So we're consistently saying the same thing, and none of the care providers could get it straight.
Right.
It was fascinating. So so one of the things I wonder is how deeply will learning to listen help us hear? If that makes any sense. It seems to be the opposite, or help us get others to hear. How do I, because I found myself lacking the ability to get the people to hear what was very consistently being said.
That's a good thing. So also being somebody, that's a good thing to think about, is how to assert your need to be heard and to teach it on the spot when it's necessary.
And how to figure out, because I'm trying to listen to what they're saying and correct along the way, but just like what you were saying, it's doing this, because there is a fixed idea that has a lot to do with their own industry and set of protocols.
I might say, and I don't know if you tried this or not, because my mother died in the spring, and I had a whole 2 days of everybody saying 1,000 different messages going back and forth, and I'm trying to say, hello, 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 and finally had to say to the doctor, because I had doctors changing, say, could you please come with me? Took him away from that place where, first of all, where anybody else was watching.
That's very good, yeah.
Took him away, sat down, didn't face off, and we're going to talk about body language today, didn't face off directly, but sat kind of 3/4, put the story of my mother right there as a hologram, and we're going to talk about this today, and just say, so I want to talk about my mother. Boom. And took it.
Are you ready?
Yeah, and there was a shift. Just like deciding to listen, I'm going to decide that you're listening. Because right now this is important. Time out. And then bring that person aside. And to take them out of where they're having to be expert. Take them out of that arena where other people are watching. Where they're distracted perhaps by monitors or whatever, or by their job. Shift them out of that so that then they can hear you better.
That's very good.
Okay? All right. So I want to, but I'm glad you said that, because that's going to bring us into the body thing, because